Guys, Bill Soriano here from Pittsburgh. It's Saturday, June 7th, about 1:30 p.m. Eastern time. You guys know what to do. If you like my videos, please subscribe to the channel so you get my updates right away. Like, comment, do whatever you can so that I know that I should keep making these, okay? Uh, Today we're going to look at the Sniper Pro entries from yesterday, Friday, June 6th. I didn't get a chance to do this last night. Usually I do this every night where what I do is, and by the way, guys, this is my Sniper Pro overview PDF file. You're going to want to get a copy of this. If you're watching this on YouTube, there'll be a link in the description. If you're somewhere else seeing this, you'll probably have to message me to get me to send you the link. But I do a quick overview here. John Oliver is the educator in GFU. He goes live every Tuesday and Thursday, 10 p.m. Eastern time. There's some Sniper Pro overview PDFs here created by John. Then there's more videos here, and this is where we have my 15-minute entry system or trade plan using the higher time frame confirmation. And there are 6 required conditions to exist before you can think about taking a trade idea that the scanner gives you and turning it into an actual trade. And again, I'm not here to give you investment advice. These videos are for educational purposes only. Forex is risky. You can lose all or part of your capital, and don't trade with money you can't afford to lose. And when you're new, or even if you're not new, but you're trying a new strategy, you should always trade that strategy on demo first for at least 25 to 50 demo trades to make sure it works for you. The whole trade plan is right here, guys. The other conditions for extra confirmation that are optional, the trade management, and then there's some videos here going over like this, trade ideas from June 1st, trade ideas from the 2nd, the 3rd, and the 4th, the 5th. And now what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm not going to put any more stuff onto the PDF. I just have a link here for updates and trade idea recap videos. Visit my GFU Sniper Pro Scanner playlist below. So what you can do is you can just click on this and that'll take you directly to the Sniper Pro playlist here where all the videos on Sniper Pro are. Okay, so the new ones I would imagine show up at the top here. This was the one that I did yesterday, actually. So, by the way, when you're navigating these PDF files, guys, it's always best not to actually download it, because if you download it on your computer, that's okay if you're just looking at it for that day. But then when you pull it up again, you're not going to get any updates that I put on here. And so when you pull this up from my website, SorianoBlueprint.com, always make sure you click this refresh button. Because if you don't click that refresh button, if I made some updates the day before, they're not going to show up for you. So when you pull it up, always hit the refresh button. And when you click on a link, you're going to get taken away from the PDF. And then you just have to hit the back button over here on your browser, right? You hit the back button on your browser to get back to the PDF file. So that's the easiest way to navigate these PDFs, all my PDF guys. Yeah, I don't recommend you download them because then you're not going to get the updates. And so when you pull them up here, always hit the refresh button to make sure you have the newest version. And then if you click on a link to go watch a video or get some other information, whatever it may be, you just have to click the back button here in your browser to get right back to the PDF. Okay. Now, going down below here, guys, if you're interested in joining GFU, there is an overview video here by Brandon Boyd, right? You want to watch that video. It's about 7 minutes long, an overview. And then if you do want to sign up as a customer, there's a link right here. That $50 bonus is now gone, I'm told. We had a $50 bonus for a while there because we moved everyone over from the other company. But now it's $299.99 for the initial payment for the package that we want to select, and then $185 a month after that. And then I have a link to my other GFU scanner PDFs right here. Right now I have just 3 PDFs done. So I've analyzed 3 scanners, Golden Era, Sniper Pro, and Quantum. I haven't done a lot with Quantum yet. And guys, they just added another scanner to the back office. Look at this. Now we have 9 scanners. Do you think they raised the price? No, they didn't. They keep adding value, but they don't change the price. We now have the Wolf X scanner. No idea what that is, guys. Okay. I've done the Golden Arrow. I've done a Golden Era, I should say. I've done Quantum and I've done Sniper Pro. And I've kind of been focused a little more here on Sniper Pro because I really like it. Okay. But eventually, probably next week, sometime next week, I'll probably have to pick another one to do an overview on to get you up to speed because I want you to know how to use all of these. Okay. So what I do is I go through the pairs uh, on the scanner, and yeah, it is a little hard right now to navigate, like I've told you guys before. So first thing you want to do is you want to make sure you're in your time zone. For Forex pairs, you click this symbol right here, and if you click 15-minute, that'll keep you on the 15-minute. Okay, and then you just go to the top here, and what I do is I just look for pairs where there's a scorecard showing up. Okay, but you can see here, you don't see any scorecard, but you got to click inside here to make sure. So once you click inside, the down button on your computer now won't take you to the next pair. So you have to go back over to the drop down list, click inside of it, hit your down button, hit the enter key, and it'll bring up the next pair. That is the easiest way to do this, right? You see here, you have to play with this here to make sure you're not missing a scorecard candle. So once I see a scorecard candle, I look on TradingView and I want to make sure that that scorecard candle is in line, is synced with the higher time frame trend on the 4-hour time frame that I have here in TradingView. And again, that's following the trade plan on the video on the PDF file here, right? You get all 6. Right? So you need to use the higher time frame trend to determine that, right? And we use the 50 to 200 and the 800 EMAs. Okay, that's how we determine the trend. So when the you can see here, you're on USD JPY here, price is below the 800, the 50 is below the 200, so that's bearish. If it doesn't line up like that, then we don't put a flag by it. If it's bearish, we put a red flag. Bullish, we put a blue flag. These purple flags are pairs that we have current open positions that we're following using our 4-hour supply and demand zone trading. So we just have to click on them to see which way it's going. So I've identified, I think 8 or 9 pairs that we're going to go over real quick here, show you what they look like. The first one is Odd Chef. Okay. So if we're going over the pairs, that means there was a scorecard candle and it is in line with the higher time frame trend. And that's the 4-hour time frame we're using. Okay. So here we get a +8 scorecard candle. That's a very high number, right? We have a red, right? Price went through our upper volatility bands here, right? So we're good there. We have a scorecard, volatility bands are good. We have a red super sniper arrow. We have a gold candle, which is an extra confirmation. And down here in the sniper later, our trend is red. So this is a go, right, on the scorecard candle. So your best trades, guys, are going to come from trades that you're able to take on that scorecard candle. Okay. So if you can't take a trade, if all 6 conditions are not met on this scorecard candle, then sometimes you can get them met on the very next candle. But after that, you kind of have to wait for price to move back into the retest zone here. You want it to get halfway into that retest zone. And then you want to make sure that there's no candles closing above that retest zone that would invalidate it. You want to make sure you don't get any super sniper arrows going the other way or any scorecards going the other way. And then you just follow this trend line down here. And if you get a candle that gets into 50% of that zone and the trend on that candle is still bearish, then you can look at taking that trade when that candle closes. Otherwise, right here, we would have gotten in this trade, right? We know that our, we look at our short position here, we would enter the close of that candle, right? Our stop loss would go at the red line there. And if we pull this down to take profit 2, that would give us just about a 1 to 2. So that would be good enough. If it wouldn't be, then we would have to scroll over to the right to see our pivot points here. And we have an S5 pivot point down here that we could use to get this to a 1 to 2.74. Okay, so that's AUDCHF. Let's pull up AUDUSD. Let's make it bigger. And this was a buy. Right here, we have a +9 scorecard candle. Really good, guys. Really good. Price was in the lower volatility bands. Of course, if I'm going over this, that means it's going with the higher time frame trend. We automatically know that, right? So that's one of the 6 conditions. So if I'm showing you this pair, that means that you know 2 conditions were met already. You know that the scorecard candle showed up and it's going with the higher time frame trend. So now we have to make sure, did it get into the lower volatility bands? It did. We have a super sniper arrow blue. We have a blue candle and we have a blue trend. So this is all conditions are met on that candle, guys. Okay, so that would be another trading opportunity. That would be a long position right there. Stop loss down there. Okay, and if we use the take profit 2 here, again, that gives us just about a 1 to 2. And if we go to the right, we see we have a pivot point all the way up here that we could potentially use to take this to a 1 to 3, just about a 1 to 3. Okay. So again, these trades look like they're going off about 11:30 a.m. Friday morning. So uh, we're looking at the scanner to see what trade ideas presented themselves and which ones met all 6 criteria, right? Now, would you take a trade on a Friday afternoon at that time of day? I don't know. You may not even be at your computer at that time of day, right? On a Friday afternoon, because with the market closing on Friday, a lot of times there's not a whole lot of volume. And that's why you see that these pairs this really didn't go anywhere, right? Really didn't go anywhere. Okay. But Sunday when the market opens, you know, it may blast up here. But because you're starting in the New Zealand and the Asian session, price may just kind of you know, F around, so to speak, for a while here until you get to the London Open. Okay, next one we're going to look at is CAD Chef. Again here, so here's CAD Chef. We're going to make it a little bit bigger here so you could see things. Okay, let's see here. CAD Chef gave a sell again, right? We know we got a scorecard candle. We know it's going with the trend. We know, okay, price goes into the upper volatility band. No problem there. We have a red super sniper arrow. That's good. We have a red candle. But down here, our sniper later is telling us that the trend is still bullish. Okay, we do have some real-time diversions back here, a few candles back, but with this trend, oh wait, I'm sorry, I looked at that wrong. Right here, our trend is bearish, so we're good to go. So this was another entry off of the scorecard candle. Okay, and you have real-time divergence. That's an extra bonus. Okay, so let's look at how this trade would look if we get in at the close of that candle. Our stop loss is right there. Our take profit 2 would give us not a very good trade, right? So if we go to the right here, we see we do have a one remaining pivot point down here in S5. And We must have we did this the wrong way, guys. My bad. This is a short position. So we can put that there. Stop loss there. So that's a 1 to 5. And then if we pull it down here, we do get our 1 to 2.22. So we are able to take these trades because, again, in our trade plan, it says we need to get at least a 1 to 2 risk to reward ratio on the trade. And if we can't get that at take profit 1 or 2, then we go and we look at the pivot points over here because these are psychological, they're dynamic psychological support and resistance points in the market, and they are based off of the prior day's high, low, and close. Okay, next one's going to be EU. Call it EU, it's EUR USD. Let's make it bigger here. Okay, this is a buy. We have a +4 candle, right? We're going with the trend. Price came down into the lower Bollinger Bands. But what do we see here? We have a blue sniper arrow under the candle, but the candle itself is red, guys. So that tells us, and also down below here, our trend is bearish here. You can see that it's very bearish. And so that very next candle is a super sniper arrow. So that would be a candle being the very next candle that you could enter on, but the trend is still bearish. So with the trend still being bearish, you can't do it. So now you have to wait for price to come back to that midway point of the retest zone. Now, once that happens, you're going to get, it's normal for the candles to be red, right? But look underneath the red candle how you still have a blue sniper arrow. You see that? That's very important here. Even though the candle is red, the sniper arrows are still blue. It comes back to the halfway point of the retest zone. But again, if you look down in the sniper later, we're still bearish. So we can't take this trade. Okay. Right? Comes back up. You get another retest here, a retest here, a retest here. But again, you have blue sniper arrows under the candle. That's what you need. Okay. You don't have a candle closing below the retest zone, so you're okay. But the problem is your sniper later is still telling you that the trend is bearish. Right? So this one we would not be in. GA is the next one, GBPAUD. Make this bigger. So here, GBPAUD, this was a little bit further back here. We had a +7, right? We have price up in the upper Bollinger Band. We have a big, big red candle, right? We have a red sniper arrow above that candle. Our sniper later is red. Everything is in line there, but all the conditions are met on that scorecard candle. The problem is, though, guys, sometimes these candles go too far. And so what happens is here, you have a situation where price is already past take profit 1. Okay, so now what you have to do is you have to look at you have to pull out your short position tool and you have to say, okay, if I get in there, right? If I get in there and then you have to see where your stop loss is right here, right? Take profit 2 is right there, right? So now you have to look for your pivot points, obviously. And your pivot point, your S5 is right there. That doesn't even give you a 1-to-1 on this trade. So you won't want to take it at that point. Now, price comes back to the halfway point of the retest zone, right? But what happens here? The sniper later is still red, but we get this blue super sniper arrow underneath that candle. So that would chase me out of that trade, guys. That would chase me out of the trade, okay? But then look what happens after that. You get a red super sniper arrow, and you're still red down here. For me, I would just look for something else. So this one we're not going to come back to. GBP USD is next. We got a few more here. Okay, here's a bullish +6 bullish scorecard. Price was in the lower zone. We have a nice blue super sniper candle, but the candle it's arrow, but the candle is gray, so that's no good. And the sniper later is also red. Okay, so now the next candle is no better, right? Sniper layer is still red. Now we'll wait for price to come back to the halfway point of that retest zone. And what happens? We get a candle closing below. Okay. So these candles were no good to enter on because the trend is still red, right? And you also have a red sniper arrow above them. The arrow above them, though, isn't the bigger thing. The bigger thing is that the trend is still red. Okay. So let's look at the next one, which is NZD CAD. Okay, so we have NZD CAD. Let's make this a little bit bigger here. NZD CAD gives us a +7 scorecard candle. Prices in the lower Bollinger Band. We have a nice blue super sniper arrow, but the candle itself is gray. And the trend is red as well. The next candle is no better, and we do not get a move back into the retest zone until right here on the last candle of the day, and the trend is still bearish at that time. So there would be no entry for this as well. So the next one is going to be U-Chef. I don't know. I got something crazy playing on the TV there. I hope you guys don't hear that. USD CHF. Here we have a +8 bearish scorecard candle. Price obviously moved into the upper Bollinger Bands. We have a red sniper arrow, but the candle itself is gray, which is no good. So it doesn't meet our conditions. This trend is blue, is bullish as well. Now, the next candle, guys, is a good candle that you could possibly enter off of because you do have a red sniper arrow above it, and the trend is now bearish. Okay. So now we have to look just to make sure that we have a 1-to-2 risk to reward ratio on this trade. So if we pull this up to here, we have to look to the right here to see we have an S5 pivot point down there. Let's see if this gives us a 1-to-2, and it does not. So that trade you would not want to take, not because it didn't meet our 6 conditions, but because you don't have at least a 1-to-2 risk to reward ratio on that trade. And so the last one we're going to look at is USD JPY. And then that's going to finish up our session here, guys. So hopefully you get some value over seeing what these trades would look like on Super Sniper. I think we've had this is the 9th pair that qualified as far as the scorecard candle in the higher time frame trend. I think on the first 3, Odd Chef, AUD USD, and CAD Chef, there were actual trades that could have been taken, right? Okay, so this last one here has a +4 scorecard. Price was up into the Bollinger Band. However, we have a gray candle, and a blue sniper arrow, and the trend is very bullish. So the next candle is no better. So we wait for price to move up into the halfway point of that retest zone and see if we can get a blue, a trend change to red here in Sniper later, while hopefully still having a red sniper arrow. But that doesn't happen there. We get the red sniper arrow, but again, the trend is still bullish. And then price moves out of that zone. So there would be no potential for turning this trade idea in USD JPY into an actual trade. Give me 1 second, guys. TV blasting in the other room for some reason, and I forgot to turn the volume down. But anyway, those were the 9 pairs that we looked at. 9 pairs today, sorry, from last night. But, we're looking at the close. Obviously, the market's closed right now. These were just trades that would have went off on Friday. I think I was anywhere from like 11 in the morning till this one was a little bit later at 1 p.m. in the afternoon. So again, these are trades that you may not take on a Friday at that time of day, but we wanted to see how they would have worked out for us. But we know that the market just doesn't move that much after that. And you can see on mostly all the pairs, the market kind of just consolidated till the end of the day. Okay, guys. So any questions, comments, get back to me. If you have any questions about Sniper Pro, I can certainly answer them for you. Make sure you go through this PDF file here. It'll be on YouTube in the description area of the video. If you're watching this somewhere else, you might have to message me for it. But again, it has the trade plan conditions, right? And this is the video that explains everything. And then these are the conditions, right? And then, of course, the extra confirmations that are optional but not required. Trade management, making sure you have at least a 1 to 2 risk to reward on the trade. Have a great weekend, guys.